Good afternoon and welcome to the live pictures on ThePapare.com of this 27th annual Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy Royal Thomian Water Polo encounter. The second leg, the all-important second leg, made even more important by the events that unfolded after the first leg last week. Lots of allegations of controversies, lots of correspondence, more letters being exchanged than shots on goal. Actually, as we look out over the Sukadadasa Stadium, indoor auto stadium, where we look at the Thomian team warming up on the right there. Royal have done their warm-up in the diving pool, and you can see the umbrellas have come up in the crowd, which means that the rain is coming down pretty heavily here. That won't affect the players in the pool too much, except in terms of visibility. It's not the kind of game that you have to stop because of wet underfoot conditions, obviously. The 27th Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy Water Polo encounter live from the Sukadadasa Stadium indoor pool. It's going to be a cracker of a game because Royal are taking a 7-9 lead in to the second leg. They're taking 2 goals of a cushion into this match, and to tell us how that Royal team will be approaching it and to call the game with me, former Royal College colorsman and goalkeeper and also member of the coaching staff of this current Royal College team, Reza Ghani, joins me in the commentary box. Good evening, Reza. Looks like it's going to be one of those games, isn't it? Sometimes you know when you walk into a R.L. Hayman Trophy encounter, you know the game is going to be won by one team or the other. But this is just one of those games where it's got a little bit of added spice.
Definitely, I think the goal cushion is nothing much to speak about. But of course, Royal will know that they have the additional 2 goals in their favour that can easily turn around in the first quarter.
Well, one thing we have to keep an eye on is the lightning. A thunderstorm is expected in this area. The temperature, of course, won't affect the players at all. It's a little bit cooler, if anything, and a nice breeze also coming through the stadium. So those conditions won't affect the play, except, of course, if we have an unsafe situation where the players need to be taken out of the pool. If there is a heavy lightning around, then that's something that the officials and the referees will consider. Is that something that has been spoken about, Reza, among the organizers as well as the coaching staff? What happens then?
If it's unsafe, the sensible thing is to stop the game for a while and then see if the conditions become better.
So you can see the crowd gathered here at the Sukadadasa Stadium. Obviously the open part of the stadium is a little less sparsely populated. Royal versus St. Thomas's. This encounter, of course, begun in the early 90s, and we've moved on to the 27th encounter now. This is the second leg, and of course it's awarded, like the Bradby Shield in rugby, to the team that scores the highest aggregate points in aggregate goals rather in both legs. So that's what everyone's looking forward to. As Reza was saying, 2 goals is hardly a cushion in this day and age, because we've moved to a very high scoring bunch of games in the Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy. The shot clock has been introduced in the recent past, and that means there's a lot of goals, lots of shots to be expected. Madhuranga Kulathilaka in the crowd there, former Royal College captain as well, our Hayman winning captain, if I'm not mistaken. No, he didn't win the Hayman. And Reza, the game really has evolved since the time that you played. And also we have, I think, in the front of the crowd there, Anisa Fauzi, who is a former Sri Lanka water polo representative for the women's team as well. So a proper water polo fraternity that has turned out, despite the weather conditions, to watch this game. And the game really has evolved, Reza, since the time that we may have played this game, where it was nice, low-scoring, tough encounters, rather brutal encounters, I must say. Now it's a lot more technical, a lot more high-scoring, and I dare say more entertaining.
Yes, initially the Hayman was played at the St. Thomas's pool and the Royal College pool. The pool being smaller gave advantage to smaller games. But here with the bigger pool at Sukadadasa and also improving on the swimming aspect of the game, it has speeded up a lot more. The shot clock also plays a big part in that, where every 30 seconds you have to recycle the ball to the other side. So I think we're going to expect a high-scoring encounter today as well.
Interesting what you said there, Reza, because of the improvement in the swimming standards, so which means that you need to have swimmers in your team more often than not, guys who can maybe do a sub 1 minute 100 meter freestyle kind of players. So that's something that we never thought about in the past. Obviously, people who could barely swim were able to make it into the water polo team. It's better if you're faster, but now speed has become a real weapon. So Royal College from Prasad Disanayake, who is playing in goal, had a superb first leg. Nithila Iluppitia on the right wingers as well, and the wings for Royal will make a big difference. Mishan Kotearachi also on the left wing, so a young Royal attacking team. 17-year-old Akindu Hadunpathirana scored a superb goal last week as well, and he's an outstanding player for the future for this Royal College team. And we're looking at Isuwarna De Silva, and he was the absolute star of the show for me in Royal. I'm not sure that's him actually, and in the picture Akhtar Jafar also made his contributions, one of the more experienced players in this Royal team. And Dulanjan Fernando also made a contribution last week. He scored a goal, and he's the captain of the team. Savinda Disanayake, now this is the man to watch out for. He plays in the centre forward position and scored a couple of superb goals, especially the tap-in that I thought he took brilliantly from 2 meters out. So he's a man that St. Thomas's will watch very carefully. Dulvin Dahanayake plays on the wing and also at centre forward. 18-year-old who has a little bit of experience, and Omira Lokuge, who's also on the bar. We'll expect him to get a little bit of game time today as well. And Akil Fairoz, just a 16-year-old, excellent swimmer and excellent ball distributor as well. And this man had an excellent game on the first leg as well. 19-year-old Shamod Edirisinghe, who did a superb defensive job on the Thomian centre forward, and that was where the game was won and lost. Bhanuka Veerasinghe, also the reserve goalie for Royal College, so he will be hoping that he doesn't get a game, because that would mean that something's gone wrong with Disanayake. So that's something that they don't want to happen. But a nice young side there. Reza will come back to that in a moment. And the big shoes, of course, Vijay Vardhan to fill, but Dilip Kumar Singh did well last week after a slow start in the first quarter. He had 4 goals go past him, but he will want to start much better this weekend. The 19-year-old playing his last a year. Anam Sauja also is a youngster, but he's been in the side for what seems like ever. So he will be one who controls the possession for St. Thomas's. Shannon Ebenezer, of course, he is the man that they will be looking to. He's the man who scored quite a few goals last week and put St. Thomas's back in the lead at one stage of that game. The lead changed hands a couple of times, and that was really good to see. Randev Jayasinghe on the right bar. Expect him to take a few more shots than he did last week in the pool, so they'll be looking to him for the goals to come from elsewhere as well. Sai Sivendra, just a youngster, and he'll be expected to come in and do a job. And Dinal Dias, of course, on the right wing. This is where St. Thomas's were found a little wanting, with the wingers being much faster for Royal College and getting a march on their counterparts. So this is where Dinal Dias will need to be really mindful of his defensive duties. Sanaka Molligoda, the captain, he's played an innumerable amount of Haymans, and he'll be someone who will be having to do a big defensive job in the number 7 cap on the right wing today. So he will really need to marshal his troops to come from behind in this game. Gihan Vijay the centre forward, whether he will start or not, we don't know. But the centre forward position is where they will need some goals to come from. And this is the man who really saved St. Thomas's blushers last year, scoring a last-minute equalising goal, and he scored a goal last week as well. They'll be expecting a few more from him. Manula Vikramaratne, the 18-year-old, on the left wing. Randeep David playing his first Hayman. Didn't have the best of outings last week, but I don't think that was his fault entirely, because the passes to him were a little bit wayward, and at the centre forward position he'll be expecting a bit more better service this time. And Shevan Ebenezer, the 17-year-old brother of Shannon Ebenezer, so he will be on the left bar. Scored a couple of good goals last week as well. They'll be looking for more from him. Komin Karunasekara, the 16-year-old, in his first Hayman, and they'll be expecting to get some game time, if at all. Suvishka Hennayaka, also the reserve goalies. Those are the two teams, and quite young teams, and Thomas is probably having a bit more experience, Reza, but this Royal team looking like it's one for the future.
Yes, St. Thomas's have been having the same coaching staff over the 5 years. So from their under-15 program, they've been well drilled, and they know exactly what they need to do in this kind of situation.
And what about the team? Actually, you're looking at quite a young team from the Royal College Royal College perspective. So lots of 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, very few final year colorsmen, as you would say. Few guys who've played 3, 4, 5. Hayman. St. Thomas's has a bit more experience. So do you think that will be a factor today?
With a 2-goal difference, I think that will come to the Thomian aid in this match. Royal definitely have a younger side, but they have a lot of guys who've come up through their under-15 program as well. So it's something that we'll have to look out for and see in the end of the game.
And when you talk about the junior program at Royal, Reza, it's been 5 years since you last won the Hayman, and this is looking like a good year for you all to come back. They see the crowds having a lot of fun despite the rain, but you're looking at development, you're looking at winning those close games that you have been losing over the last 5 years. So what has Royal College Water Polo put in place for that?
The first win is always the most difficult, especially when you've gone into 3 to 4 years of having lost it. Last year was a close game. It was one of the best encounters that I have seen played over the 26 years, and that was a draw. So going forward, going forward on the development at college, we've got in a lot more equipment, we've got in a lot more coaching staff, and we've brought in the discipline angle to it, because Bilal Hassan is someone, the head coach, who insists on his athletes being disciplined in their workouts and in the pool, and that is something that has definitely changed over the last few years.
Yes, I know that's an ethic he followed a lot during his playing days, whether it be rugby or water polo. So the Royal crowd gathering momentum here, and they don't look like they mind the rain, of course. And what's the Royal crowd expecting today, Reza? Because as we spoke about a little bit earlier, there's a little bit of an undercurrent to this game. The whole controversy about the extra player, we'll get into that in more detail later on. But is the Royal crowd surprised at how easily St. Thomas's capitulated last week? And were they expecting to go in with a lead? Were you expecting it as being part of the wider coaching team? Or were you just happy with the result that you all got? Was it a surprise?
When it comes to Royal Thomian, your form doesn't count for much, Shanaka. It's who can deliver on the day. Royal had their chances, and so did St. Thomas's. Luckily, we seem to make a few mistakes, and therefore we find ourselves 2 goals up. But if we make more mistakes today, then that can easily have you can have an overturned result.
Well, we never know until the final minute if last year's result and last week's result are anything to go by, because the last encounter, the 26th Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy encounter, as Reza said earlier, was an absolute nail-biter. We have no reason to believe that this leg is going to be any different, and we'll talk much more about the extra man and all the controversy that has sparked over the course of last week, and a lot more about what we can expect in the pool today as well. We come back on ThePapare.com. You're with live pictures from the Sugidasa Stadium pool. We'll be back after the break. And he does brilliantly moving into the corner there. Outstanding individual.
This is brilliant by Danush Karanjan, scoring his 7th.
Corner time with one hand, and looks like he's through.
The outside fence off one. Goes off another. Just goes off. ක්‍රීඩා පුවත් සිංහලෙන් www.thepapare.com වෙබ් අඩවියට පිවිසලා සිංහල භාෂාව තෝරාගන්න. ක්‍රිකට්, රග්බි, පාපන්දු, වොලිබෝල්, මලල ක්‍රීඩා, පැසිපන්දු විතරක් නෙමෙයි වෙනත් ක්‍රීඩා සහ විශේෂාංග ලිපි වුණත් ThePapare සිංහල තුලින්. ඇයි අපේ වීඩියෝ පිටුව ක්‍රීඩාව හා සම්බන්ධ දහසකුත් එකක් වීඩියෝ, සම්මුඛ සාකච්ඡා. ඒ වගේම ඇසිදිසි, රග්බි පිටිය, පිටියේ කතා, ස්පෝර්ට්ස් මසාලා වගේ සතිපතා ජනප්‍රිය විශේෂාංග නරඹන්න. ඔබේ පරිගණකයෙන්, ටැබ් එකෙන්, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් ස්මාර්ට්ෆෝන් එකෙන් ලබා ගන්න ඔබට ලේසියෙන්ම පුළුවන්. ThePapare සිංහල ක්‍රීඩා පුවත් ඩිජිටලීකරණය.
Welcome back to the Sukadasa Stadium indoor pool as we have the teams lining up just by the starting blocks for the 27th Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy water polo encounter between St. Thomas's and Royal. A nail-biting encounter anticipated as a result of what happened last week. Royal surprising the form book, and despite being underdogs going into that game, they managed to end up winners 9-7. Bit of a controversy stirred up. Pictures from the replay showed that Royal may have had 7 outfield players in the pool at the first quarter, but pretty well handled by both teams. Royal offering to give a goal back, and Royal even offering, going as far as offering to forfeit the result of that first leg. St. Thomas is saying thanks very much for the offer, but no thanks, we'll play it as it is because it was a bona fide error. I thought everyone did well in that, everyone came out pretty well of that exchange, Reza.
Yes, I think a sensible decision has been reached finally. At the end of the day, it's not about the controversy, but what these boys have trained for the entire year, and it's a showcase for their talents and their hard work that has been put in. So hopefully that's behind us now, and we can go ahead and concentrate on this second leg.
Absolutely, and I think it's great that the administration realized that as well, the administrations of both teams, and didn't turn this into something more than it needed to be. Here's the Royal College team. They will be going in trying to defend a 2-goal lead, but it's not something you can defend, is it, Reza? You have to go out and score a third goal and try and get a 3-goal cushion now.
Definitely, Shanaka. We've been in situations before where Royal has been trailing and then they've come back in the second leg. One was in the 2016 under-15 game with Akido Handun Patran as the captain, and last year there's no better example than that under Basit Yaqub. We know the trials and tribulations that team went through in the final week of preparation and training, and a lot of mental toughness that was needed. So if St. Thomas's repeat that, there's no reason why they can't emulate that.
Lovely to see the chief guest, Arun Pereira, my captain when we played in 1997. So really good to see him as the chief guest as well. Just shows how old we are, of course. But school anthems now. rousing anthems there from both schools. An outstanding crowd has now poured into the stadium. They probably waited to see whether the rains will let up, and they said, well, we don't care. Nice to see the smiles among the players as well. Good to see that camaraderie despite whatever may have gone on out of the pool. It's really good to see the players with a smile on their face and just wishing each other all the best before, because that's what this is all about, isn't it, Reza?
It's the nerves, Shanaka, the nerves. Yes, it's good to have healthy rivalry between the two schools. After all, these boys are here to do a job in the pool. That's what they've trained to do, and that's what we will expect them to deliver today.
Well, the Royal crowd, in anticipation, started off brilliantly, scored in the very first minute over the course of last week, and then banged in 3 more goals to take a 4-2 lead in the first quarter, and Royal never really looked back from there. St. Thomas's couldn't recover. So how important is it, Reza, for both teams to start well, more importantly for St. Thomas's?
A good start is always important, so that will start with the swim ball. Last week, Royal won all 4 swim balls in the quarters, so knowing that they will have first attack on goal, it's important to start that attack off with the right preparation, Shanaka.
So these are the team list. These are the guys who will be starting on cap numbers 1 to 7. Disanayaka in goal. Iluk Pitia Kotea Rachi, Handun Patrana, Iswarana De Silva, Akhtar Jaffer and Dulanjan Fernando. Savinda Disanayaka will play an important part in that number 8 cap, and look for Akil Fairoz also, and Shamo Desisingh to be the defensive linchpin. So anyone that really stands out there, Reza?
Savinda is definitely one of the main players for Royal, but also they've got a good 13. That's what we've been concentrating on in the last 3 years, building a 13 that can get into the pool at any time.
Looking at the last huddles from the teams, and here's the St. Thomas's team. Dilip Kumarasinghe will be under a little bit of pressure. Anam Saja, Shavin Ebenezer, Rande Jasingh, Saivendra, Dias, Moligora the captain, Vijay Singh, Vikramaratne, David, Ebenezer, Karunasekara and Hennayaka. Who are the danger men that stand out for you from here?
Definitely the 2 Ebenezer brothers. Shannon, I believe the younger brother, played well in his under-15 encounter as well. So the 2 brothers link up well, and they're on the 2 bars. So that's something for Royal to look out for.
Speaking about the under-15 game, the Mahinda Liyanage Trophy won pretty convincingly by St. Thomas's over the course of both legs. 12 goals to 3 in the first one, and 18 goals to 4 in the second one just about an hour or so ago. So 30 goals on aggregate for St. Thomas's against 7 for Royal. That must be a little upsetting in terms of the future, Reza.
The result will definitely hurt the boys today. It's not something that you expect to when you start the season off in January. But St. Thomas's definitely had the better swimming side. Technically, they were superior, and that is something that has been going into their coaching program over the last 5 to 6 years. We have a bit of catching up to do. Royal has a bit of catching up to do in the structure of the coaching, which is what St. Thomas's are producing every Hayman now.
Coaches and players wishing each other the best of luck. Purna Kankanige and Bilal Hassan there will be hoping to make sure he stays the full length of the game on the sidelines today, Bilal. And one great thing about this man is that pressure just flows off him like water off a duck's back. And he's come under fire from a few quarters, but has looked it straight in the face and said, I'll let the boys do the talking for me in the pool. And these guys are under a little bit of pressure. Zafar Zainuddin on the extreme right there. Dhanush Kuseram and BSC Pereira next to him. And Zafar has won for 5 years in a row. And it's always difficult when you're in that position. The fact that you might actually lose a game, that's a really difficult one to take, isn't it, Reza?
It's bittersweet. Zafar has done something that Royal did in, I think, between 2005 and 2009. So he's definitely looking to break that record. Royal College will not give it to him easily today. So it remains to be seen in the pool, Shanaka.
Well, you speak of records, Reza, but back in the day, don't think we ever lost a game for about 8 years to Royal. So let's not start on that subject. But here we are, underway in the second leg of the Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy, the 27th time these two teams play for this trophy. Although Royal have played a hell of a lot of water polo against St. Thomas's over the course of the last 70 years or so, and the swim ball won by St. Thomas's for the first time in 5 quarters now. The first one that St. Thomas's have won. Is this a measure of how well they're going to approach this game? And a ball under immediately. David being double teamed. And Prasad Disanayake coming out of his goal to find the long pass. And here's Royal attacking very quickly, going to the wing once again like they did last week. And it's a pressing defense by St. Thomas's. And this is where Royal was so dangerous, and the goal is not good this time. This is where they scored last week, but this time Dilip Kumarasinghe is up to the mark. So the game has really opened up early on, with Shannon Ebenezer now the vice captain, trying to beat Edrisinghe into the corner, but Edrisinghe does brilliantly. So this guy is a real rock in defense, Reza.
Yes, there were a few matchups last week as well with Shannon and Samod. Good to see that Samod won the first encounter here.
Isuvarna De Silva, the danger man for Royal. He's swimming the ball up. The defender's caught in two minds as to who to take. Here's Isuvarna De Silva in. Danger man on the left bar, and it's a good pass across. Kumarasinghe does well to save. And he has his defense to thank for making sure that he got that ball back, and that was Shevan Ebenezer. And this game, it's like the fourth quarter already, Reza. It's just completely opened up. And here's Sanaka Molligoda trying to calm things down a little bit. Gets the foul call against Dulanjan Fernando. He will look for a pass into one of his shooters. And Molligoda again with a heavily strapped right shoulder. You can expect him not to take too many shots, but doesn't look like the shoulder held him back there. So here's a little bit more structure now to St. Thomas's attack, and again the long shot. But that would be something that St. Thomas's will keep trying.
They just needed that extra pass, Shanika, there. They need to work the ball around in the D. It's always the additional pass or the additional movement that the players look for, and the goalkeeper's nightmare.
Here's a lot of work being done. An excellent shot taken, but Savinda Disanayake is really thwarted by the bar there. Dilip Kumarasinghe thought for all money that he was beaten. But the whole ball has to cross and go into the goal. So it's like football in that sense. Molligoda will take the shot, but it's straight into the midriff of Disanayake.
St. Thomas's need to bring their D up. They're having too many men back, and that's why he couldn't get the pass away there. So he was stuck for options. Molligoda always brings the ball up the right wing, but he needs another bar or another wing to support him there.
Here's the ball being taken forward by Handun Pathirana. Another dangerous player for Royal, only a young lad, but seems to have a very cool head on his shoulders. A brilliant goal once again from Shamod Edrisinghe at that time. A left-handed tap-in, and you could see how well orchestrated that was. Handun Pathirana only had eyes for Edrisinghe, and the goal coming from a guy who didn't score at all last week. So Royal keeping the Thomian defense guessing.
Brilliant movement by Handun Pathirana to do the hard yards and take the ball up that right wing. He was always looking for his man in the centre pocket there, and a beautiful pass to Shamod Edrisinghe to finish things off.
Excellent pass there. It's like a cross for a football player to head into goal, and here's an easy swim up. Shot needs to be taken quickly, and it's a corner pass because the ball went off the hands of Prasad Disanayake in the Royal goal. Ebenezer just trying to calm things down, and here's Disanayake asking his defense to make sure they get to the right man at the right time. Really well defended goal there, and that one was a wayward shot, a real low percentage shot there taken by Sanaka Molligoda. So a 3-goal cushion now for Royal. So no real options in the center of the pool for St. Thomas's. And that's another goal for Royal. Again, Shamod Edrisinghe scoring. So suddenly it's a 4-goal lead. And Royal have started with the same bang that they started last time. Beautifully taken shot, fake to the far post and slammed it into the near one, and Dissanayake will be Kumarasinghe will be disappointed with that.
So Royal found themselves in the same position last week, Shanaka, where they went 2-0 up, and they were 2-0 up in 2016 as well. They need to look for this Thomian comeback now.
Well, Royal playing like they have an extra man in the pool, although they don't. And again, the collapsing defense really proving the undoing for David there. And this is where the passers really need to be a little bit more judicious how they give David the ball, isn't it, Reza? Because they're allowing for this fast break. And here's Handun Patirana again, swimming it up with his head up, has all the options right in front of him. That time the Thomian defense does a little better, but again it's gone back for a corner, so another mistake by Dilith Kumarasinghe.
So another chance for Royal to go to a set play from the corner. The reason they're not getting value from the prop is he's not as strong as Sachit Daichilaka was a few years ago, so they really need to work it around and feed the prop when he's most likely to score.
Most likely to get an exclusion as well. They're looking for him as the first option, which I'm not sure is the way to go. And this is a dangerous one because Isuwarna De Silva is fouled outside the 5-meter mark. Royal have another opportunity. And now it's Akhtar Jaffer who thinks about a shot, but is within the 5-meter line. So the rule is that if you're outside the 5 meters, which is the green cone that you see, if you're fouled, you can take an immediate shot at goal. You can't fake and shoot, but you can take an immediate shot. St. Thomas's already look a little knackered. But here's Anam Sauja, the experienced Anam Sauja, swimming it up the pool. They need to create a little bit of space in front of goal, and that's a good goal for him. Number 2, Sauja scoring the first goal for St. Thomas's. And that looked a little easy. But it's because the players are out on their feet already.
Defensive lapse there by Royal College. They needed to pick up that man. You can't keep a bar player open 4 meters or 5 meters out of the goal. He's definitely coming in to score. And that's something the goalkeeper needs to work on with his defense.
You can see the rain coming down. This will affect the players' visibility. It will affect the referee's visibility as well. But as long as the Thunder and Lightning stay away, we should be able to get a good game in.
So with 50 seconds to go on the game clock, Royal have one attack, and probably if it's turned over, then St. Thomas's will have about 20 seconds left on the clock. It'll be interesting to see how this quarter ends, Shanaka.
Well, that's the aggregate scores you see at the bottom of the live scores on your ThePapare scoreboard. So it's 9-7 at the moment. Should probably be 11-8 actually.
Royal have made 2 substitutions with Lokuge at centre position, Fairoz on the bar. Savinda Dissanayake comes up the wing there.
Beautifully taken goal. The Thomian defence in complete disarray there. And it's brilliant switching by Royal, isn't it, Reza? They're moving across and they're blocking the opposite player from... It's almost like a screen and roll that you'd play in basketball, and they're doing it brilliantly.
Yes, just like the previous Thomian goal, the St. Thomas's defense needed to pick up Savinda. They're giving him too much space there on the wing, which resulted in the goal.
Well, St. Thomas's have 10 seconds to shoot, and Sauja is the man who scored the goal, and looking for a pass to the bar. And here's a shot coming in. It was a well-taken shot, but good intervention by the defense. And Royal taking a very quick timeout to try and end this quarter with another goal. So a superb opening again from Royal, Reza. This is something that will really comfort the Royal coaching staff.
Definitely. It's the 13 that we have been building on for a long time. But this is still the first quarter. We've got 3 quarters to go. St. Thomas's have come to play. They have the record, and there is something that they will not give up very easily. Zafar is a good tactician. He has trained his boys for a long time, longer than Bilal Hassan has. Both teams need to be careful of their mistakes and perfect their basics here in the last few quarters.
We've made a little adjustment on the clock. There's actually 2 minutes left. So we've been doing running time here, whereas the shot clock, the game clock has stopped for the stoppages. So we've corrected that now. And the Royal do have a timeout. They'll want to get an extra goal, and the crowd showing a lot of dedication, staying out in that pouring rain. He's the man that might be a match winner, Akil Fairos. This ball is brought up by Omira Lokuge now. And the left-hander Disanaika on the corner. And the foul from outside for Fairos. So making sure they foul well outside the 5-meter mark. And here's Isuwaran De Silva, does brilliantly. But it's a ball under, says the referee. And there was a ball that was thrown away, so there will be an exclusion. And this is a shame because the referees will have to call this one back despite St. Thomas's having an attacking opportunity. So there will be an exclusion because nobody heard that whistle. Number 7 out, says the referee. So that's Dulanjan Fernando who threw the ball away. Careless, an unnecessary mistake.
Yes, Shanaka, they need to keep that discipline here. That was totally uncalled for. The ball had already been turned over, so he should have just pressured the man there, made sure he ran down the clock for at least another 5 seconds or so.
Coming down pretty hard, you can see the frustration on the referee's face. So it's been an outstanding encounter so far. It really opened up, and both teams looked desperate to score the first goal in there. Purna Kankanige giving some very specific advice to Disanaika there. How advantageous is it to have a left-hander on that right wing and the right bar? Reza, he's really made it count, hasn't he?
It's a big advantage, Shanaka, and I think St. Thomas's have a left-hander in their 13 as well. It'll be interesting to see if they use him, but they keep going to Shanaka Molligoda, the captain, on that right wing.
So a few inaccurate passes there from Molligoda between the experienced men, Molligoda and Ebenezer. Needs to take a shot now. And again, excellent work from the Royal defence, really crowding that goal. And it's not rocket science, is it, Reza? Just make it difficult for the shooter to thread it through.
Definitely, but you saw a lot of beautiful ball movement there by St. Thomas's. They started with a double prop position and then swivel the D to the right to go into a single prop, which opens up a lot of angles in goal.
Here's a man who's been making all the play, Hadun Patrana on that left wing, finding the passes, look for the left wing on this side, but that time well intercepted by the Thomian defence, and Kumarasinghe has a few options ahead of him, looks for the long pass, and it's a good one as well. This is Manula Vikramaratne who's swinging it up the left wing, keeping on going, looking for the exclusion. That's a good pass. And beautifully taken bounce shot as well. Nicely taken by Shevan Ebenezer there.
They can't give the two barmen room, Shanaka. They did the same thing with Anam Sauj a little while ago. The Ebenezer brothers are the two linchpins that St. Thomas's are depending on, and they will hurt you if you let them come into the 5-meter.
3 goals to 2. And goalie should probably have done a little bit better with that. He did have his body behind it, but just bounced out of his hands. Here's Hadun Patran again, and St. Thomas's leaving him alone. This is the pass they've got to pressure.
Royal need to change their tactic here. They're looking for the tap-in again, and St. Thomas's have got them marked.
And it's no goal because the shot clock had expired, and you can see Isuwaran De Silva looking forlorn, but it was very clear that the whistle had gone just before he let the ball go. So that's the quarter, and what an entertaining quarter it's been. We've seen 5 goals in it, and it was a good shot, well taken from about 9 to 10 meters out, and he really is a deadly shooter, isn't he?
He's one of the more experienced guys in this Royal 13. Most of these guys, Shanaka, are people who haven't played 3-4 years ago in our 13. So even Shamod Edrising, as an example, who came in and turned the game for us in the second leg, didn't play the previous year. So it shows the kind of bench strength that we have been working on and the kind of boys that we're trying to produce for future Haymans as well.
Well, 3-2. Would Royal have taken that if it was offered to them before the game at the end of the first quarter?
If they were looking to win the Hayman after 5 years, I think they'd take that result, and they take that result every quarter. So, yes.
Well, you can see the rain lashing down. You can see the heavy breeze as well in the silhouette of the lights here at the Sugatadasa Stadium indoor pool. It's called the indoor pool. Nothing really indoor about it, especially as the Royal crowd will tell you as they're seated on the really pouring side there. And we have the Thomian coaching staff, Zafar. No real panic among the coaching staff, no real emotion from them. They seem to know what they're doing and seem to want to just absorb that pressure that Royal is throwing at them.
St. Thomas's always have a set game plan, Shanaka. They know exactly what they're doing on the liner, on the corner balls, on the restart, and even on the swim ball. And it's always a set pattern that they go to. They're good at executing it, and that's what they've been doing over the last few years.
Well, Dulanjana Fernando won a couple of swim balls last week, so he's been beaten to the ball this time in the first quarter. That showed the hunger that the Thomians have come in, smarting from their underdog stag, smarting from the 2 goals that they conceded to Royal in the first leg. So this is where the desire comes into play. And I think a lot of our viewers who may not have done this don't realize how difficult it is to get some speed up from without pushing off the ground or pushing off the wall. Reza, it's a nightmare, isn't it?
Yes, you look to your fastest swimmer to win you that swim ball, to give you tactical advantage in the quarter. We've got Lokuge, I think, lined up in the pool, ready for his swim ball. He's one of the fastest guys we've got. But also St. Thomas's will compete this time. So let's see.
You can see those legs whirring like motors, and they'll be happy with that. And almost a dead heat there, but Lokuge just got his hand to the ball, and that's him bringing it back up. Omira Lokuge will play in the center position, and this is the left wing that Royal have pretty much sent everything through, like Manchester United used to send everything down through Ryan Giggs. They're sending everything down through Handun Patirana. That's a little intervention, but not good enough. Thomian defense taking a bit of time to recover, and again the shot clock expired, so the long shot was taken, and Kumarasinghe will now look for a safe pass, a percentage pass. And this is where Anam Sauja is dangerous. So he's beaten his man already. Suvarna De Silva is playing catch up. So Sauja needs to make sure that he uses this advantage. Looks for Manula Vikramaratne across the pool, and that's opened it up. But a good goal again. Prasad Disanayaka just lost his marker on the post because Manula Vikramaratne was free as ever on the left-hand post, and that's a well-taken goal. Molligoda fakes and straight through. A rabbit shot, as it's called. Reza, you want care to explain to our viewers why it's called a rabbit?
Just over the head of the goalie, because the goalie is always concentrating on the 2 corners. So once you've gotten very close to him, that's definitely one of the weak points that you talk about as a player. Prasad will not be happy about that. You don't want St. Thomas's getting so close to the goal and then having easy goals above your head.
This is the pass again that they really need to pressure. That pass in from Handun Patran. Here's Suvarna De Silva. Always a buzz around the ground when he has the ball in his hand, and that's why, just coming off the bar, his bounce shot was a super one, but just too acute an angle, and Dilith Kumarasinghe breathes a sigh of relief. Fortunately, that ball hitting the hand of Vikramaratne and ricocheting off to the Royal defence. Now St. Thomas's need to recover quickly. It's a good foul that time by Shevan Ebenezer, a necessary foul, and this time there's an exclusion. And I think it's an exclusion in the back pool, and that's a great goal, well taken. That was taken by Kote Arachi. In fact, it's Dulanjan Fernando. Can see the pass here by Suvarna De Silva. And the pass was good, so the ball was in play. The Thomian defense didn't react. And Dulanjana returning the favor.
The Thomian number 11 needed to drop onto that wing, Shanaka. That was bad defensive play. He already had his other man had the centre marker down, and that resulted in a Royal goal there.
And this is where Royal won the first leg, didn't they? They won it with their wings playing some excellent attacking water polo. And the ball turned over once again, but the referees... There's been a lot of whistling in this leg, Reza, already. The referees probably need to communicate a little bit better to the players, especially in this visibility.
It's the atmosphere and the crowd as well, Shanaka. Most of these games played abroad, I doubt have the Papare band playing in the background and this kind of crowd and playing so close as well.
Here's the dangerous right winger. Here's De Silva with the hand up, and that's a good save. And now there's got to march on. Here's the fast break. Shannon Ebenezer. You'll back him with Manula Vikramaratne on his left. He needs to make the pass now or never. Chosen to go on his own. There's the pass, and it's a bad one. He really needed to pass that ball a lot earlier, and that's why. And that is 101 of how not to run a fast break. Dissanayaka with the backhand, but Dilip Kumarasinghe up to the mark. So it's end-to-end stuff here at the 27th Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy encounter. Here's another fast break on. Royal struggling to keep up with Sanaka Molligoda. Molligoda with only the goalie to beat. And that's a good defensive intervention from the Royalists. But referees say there was a foul. So will it be a penalty, Reza?
Interesting to see what the call is, Shanaka. I thought he tapped the ball off Shanaka Molligoda.
But it looks like it is a penalty. So you can't interfere or foul in the act of shooting, and that's what the Royal defender did from behind.
Any act which prevents a probable goal will be penalty close to the goal line. That's the basic definition, Shanaka.
So there was an intervention there, and if he tapped the ball away, it would have been fine. But Shannon Ebenezer now will be tasked with putting St. Thomas's back on level pegging on the scoreboard, at least for this leg. Never easy, these penalties, but taken precisely enough by Ebenezer. It wasn't the greatest penalty in the world, was it? It was at a good height for Prasad Dissanayaka.
Prasad will be telling the defense, please do not give these penalties away, and also pick up the men without keeping them open for a shot.
Nice hang time from Ebenezer there. Just delayed the shot a fraction. And again, the pass is open for Hadun Patirana on the right wing. And St. Thomas is just managing to salvage that ball. It was a bad pass that time. And Kumarasinghe will have an opportunity now. St. Thomas's have had 2 fast breaks already in this quarter, so we'll probably look for that. And now Royal, with an extra player up the pitch, will need to make sure they get their defense back quickly. Shevan Ebenezer needs to find that extra man and does so. That's a good pass.
He'll look for the prop here, Manula.
Looks for the centre position beforehand though, and that's not a good shot. That pass needed to come a little earlier from Ebenezer. Ran the shot clock down, and Royal have a full 30 seconds now. Pass by Fairo. Savinda Dissanayaka well prevented from taking that left-handed shot that time. That is an exclusion, and the defender is wondering why.
It's a good timeout taken. The boys looked tired, and with the few swimming runs that they had in the previous plays. As a result, you found only 2 or 3 people in an attacking position. So the timeout is good. Sometimes it's a tactical timeout that we take, and sometimes it's to give the boys a rest and just re-stress on main attack and defense options that we have.
Yes, it was a good momentum stopper at the moment, because St. Thomas's looked like, even though they weren't scoring, that they were having a run on the attack at that point. So good way to stop the momentum of the attacking team for Bilal to take a timeout there. Here's Shannon Ebenezer. They'll need a few long-range shots from him if St. Thomas's are to get ahead on the scoreboard, and just getting ahead isn't enough. Reza, they need a 3-goal win here to try and retain the Dr. R.L. Hayman trophy.
Well, most teams will look at it as winning the leg first and then taking the next step from there. At the moment, St. Thomas's are doing a good job of it, and so are Royal.
Drenched spectators watching anxiously, cheering their teams on. St. Thomas is a little bit more disciplined in their defense this time, just making sure they cut the angles off for the shooters. And that's what good disciplined defense can force. It can force a bad shot. It can force an inaccurate shot. And here's a turnover now in the middle of the pool. And Royal will have a chance now through Dulvin Dahanayaka. Dahanayaka tries to give the ball back to one of his advancing players, but just a little bit of a delay. And the shot clock now at 20 seconds as Shamod Edrisinghe brings this one up. Scored a couple of goals in the first quarter to give Royal that shock lead, and shoots it straight into the breadbasket. Dilith Kumarasinghe will be very happy with that.
Bad decision making, Shanaka. They need to form a D. They need to form around the goal and distribute the ball around. They've got enough time on the shot clock remaining, and then take the best percentage shot that you can take at the time.
Ebenezer trying to up the pace of the game. And here's Dinal Dias free in the center, opts not to take the shot, looks for Sanaka Moligode to take it instead. And that time Moligode just loses the ball. And this time he will try to look for Manula Vikramaratne. And again in the center forward position, and the shot clock running out. So St. Thomas is really not making the most efficient use of their possessions. As we see Akhtar Jafar. Here's Suvarna De Silva with his front on to the goal. Really had the goal at his mercy there, Suvarna. Thought he might take a pump shot, but chose not to. Here's Jafar. And the shot is wide. But he won't mind that. He'll just run it down to half time. At 4 goals all, they know that the Hayman is in the bag for them. So Kumarasinghe will now go into the half-time break and hope that his coaches can tell them what to do to try and win this Hayman back by a 3-goal margin. So it's an absolute no quarters asked or given game. Absolutely nothing in it as well at halftime. It's 4 goals all as the rain pours down here at the Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy encounter. What are you feeling, Reza? How do you see this going?
Nervous, Shanaka. Very nervous.
Yes, I can almost see you chewing your fingernails if you didn't have the mic in front of you. But here's the referees who've done a decent job so far. And the Royal is just making sure that they distribute that lactic acid evenly, just taking a bit of a warm down swim there, and not allowing themselves to become stiff in this half-time break. The wind is furious here at 4 goals all at Royal College versus St. Thomas's College. It looks like it's going to be a cracking second half. Don't go anywhere. You're on ThePapare.com. He does brilliantly moving into the corner there. Outstanding individual.
Away. This is brilliant by Danushka Ranjan. Scoring his 7th.
Corner time with one hand. It looks like he's through.
The outside fence off one. Goes off another. Just goes off.
ක්‍රීඩා පුවත් සිංහලෙන් www.thepapare.com වෙබ් අඩවියට පිවිසලා සිංහල භාෂාව තෝරාගන්න. ක්‍රිකට්, රග්බි, පාපන්දු, වොලිබෝල්, මලල ක්‍රීඩා, පැසිපන්දු විතරක් නෙමෙයි වෙනත් ක්‍රීඩා සහ විශේෂාංග ලිපි උනත් ThePapare සිංහල තුලින්. ඇයි අපේ වීඩියෝ පිටුව ක්‍රීඩාව හා සම්බන්ධ දහසකුත් එකක් වීඩියෝ, සම්මුඛ සාකච්ඡා, ඒ වගේම ඇසිදිසි, රග්බි පිටියේ කතා, ස්පෝර්ට්ස් මසාලා වගේ සතිපතා ජනප්‍රිය විශේෂාංග නරඹන්න. ඔබේ පරිගණකේ ටැබ් එකේ එහෙමත් නැත්නම් ස්මාර්ට්ෆෝන් එකෙන් ලබා ගන්න ඔබට ලේසියෙන්ම පුළුවන්. ThePapare සිංහල ක්‍රීඩා පුවත් ඩිජිටලීකරණය.
The rain continues to fall down here at the Sukadadasa Stadium indoor pool, and it continues to rain goals as well at the 27th Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy Royal Thomian Water Polo encounter. It has been an exciting first half, and we are poised for an even more exciting second half as the teams are deadlocked at 4 goals all. Joining me in the commentary box, Reza Ghani, looking forward to an absolutely outstanding second half. You can see it there on the scoreboard as the teams compete for the swim balls, and Thomas is coming away with this one. So the swim balls have been shared now, one for Royal, one for St. Thomas's, and this is the third one that St. Thomas's just managed to snaffle, although Royal probably got there first. So Reza used to play in goal. Is there any difference between which goal is being attacked in terms of being a goalkeeper?
Not really. I think the goalies have a preferred side which they're used to practicing on most of the time. But now we play so often at Sukadadasa, as we see Savinda clear extra man there.
Beautifully saved there that time by Dilip Kumarasinghe. What an outstanding save that was. And Savinda Disanayaka, very clear tactic from Bilal at the start of the third quarter. Just try and get that extra goal. Play a man up. And you can see Disanayaka just really angry with himself there.
He just needed to shift slightly to the right or the left, one extra fake, and he had the goal at his mercy.
And again, a good shot, well saved by Prasad Disanayaka that time. Was Shevan Ebenezer. So a deliberate ploy there to keep one man down, Reza, just to try and upset the Thomian defence.
Yes, always good to take a lead in the quarter so that it settles your nerves as well and then allows you to attack freely.
Ball tipped back. It was a loose pass. And the Royals defense getting back pretty quickly here. This is where their swimming stamina will be tested. As the captain, Sanaka Molligoda, now takes it up for St. Thomas's. So he's got to make sure that they take a good shot from here. Molligoda moving into a good position, but again, not a good shot taken there by Ebenezer. That was a brilliant shot though by Manula Vikramaratne, who hasn't had really a shooting opportunity today, or hasn't had many, but a beautifully taken shot at the near post, Reza.
Mistake by the bar defender there. The bar defender needed to pick him up. Like, you can't keep someone in Manula's caliber free. Shoots right between the two defenders' arms there.
That was a really well taken shot. He had one defender on his right, one in his left, and the goalkeeper to beat, and did it beautifully. You can see the crowd really packed into this dry area of the Sukadasa Stadium, and there's not a lot of that. Here's the right wing where everything has come from for Royal. This is where they're trying to press the right winger again. And this is Savinda Disanayake with a brilliant backhander. But again, Dilip Kumar Singh, in this quarter alone, he's kept St. Thomas's in the game. So it's 13-12 on aggregate now. Absolutely nothing in it. Good bounce shot. A nice skidding shot from Royal. But again, Kumarasinghe makes his fourth save in a few minutes. Important spot from Manula Vikramaratne that time. And again, the referee is calling it back. So St. Thomas's have had a few fast breaks which have been called back. And they need to make sure that they get the right call to each other once the referee makes a call. And just off your screens, Reza, I don't know whether you saw that in the commentary box, but the lightning has started. And hopefully we'll get 15 minutes of water polo in before it becomes unplayable.
So both teams just need to settle down a little, Shanaka. They look too keen to score first. St. Thomas's made the mistake of not having their head up when the goalie threw the ball to the left. Royal made the same mistake where he could have intercepted that one. And they just need to make a few more passes so that they tire the goalie and the defense out.
So St. Thomas's, or Royal rather, making a substitution there. Shamo Dedrisinghe going out and Dulanjan Fernando coming in, probably to increase the speed of their swim. Reza looking for the counter attack here from the Thomian attack. And here's the ball going straight away to the wing. Looking for the center. This is where the Thomian winger needs to come in a little further.
Looking for Manula.
And that's a great pass. And Manula Vikramaratne takes the first time shot. So the guy who saved the game last year with an absolutely brilliantly taken last minute goal. He was expecting it, Manula. Took his time though once he got it and shot it over the head of Omira Lokuge. Really calm shooter.
Royal need to read that play, Shanaka. They've done this a few times before in the attack as well, where they look for Manula or the left bar there, and the defense needs to pick that man up.
Royal now 2 goals down for the first time in this encounter. They've never conceded a lead of 2 goals. Hanun Patirana, and that's the foul, and that's an important foul. That's made. And again, an important defensive intervention there from Shevan Ebenezer. And looking for the long ball this time. It's not a good one, and this is where St. Thomas's need to make sure that they don't throw away this lead they've worked so hard to build.
Ilukpitia needs to pass the ball and then swim up the field here.
Well done by Vikramaratne there. Manula Vikramaratne, outstanding defensive work. Just spotted a small flaw in Ilukpitia's thinking, and that's got to be an exclusion. The youngster Nithila Ilukpitia, a baptism by fire at his first Hayman. I say fire, but it's water. And here's the pass to Ebenezer. He's going to shoot. No, he's not. Sauja.
They'll look for the left wing again.
And that's the third goal. That's the one they so desperately wanted, and you can see what that means to the Thomian crowd. The jubilation has set in, and no better man to bring that third goal up than Shannon Ebenezer. I thought they'd passed once too often, but Ebenezer in the near post. And that was not a place that he'd expect his defenders to get beaten, Prasad Dissanayake.
St. Thomas will come back strong. Shanaka, they're leading by 3.
Savinda Dissanayake saying there that all you need to do is get 2 goals back. We don't need to win this, just need to get 1 goal back is all he's saying there. So that's a good pass. That's well defended there by St. Thomas's. Something they've omitted to do all game. And Manula Vikramaratne leaves the ball behind. And now the break is on.
Fyron needs to swing this one up. He needs support on that right wing. He's got Savinda Dissanayake in the centre pocket there.
And this is Dilip Kumarasinghe's quarter. He had a shocker of a first quarter in the first game. And not the best one, helped by his defence in this leg. But in this third quarter, he has stood like a rock. And Randeep David unfortunately took the angle away from... Oh, that's a ball under. They really needed to score there. Bad decision making from the Thomian attack on that offence. Really needed to allow Manula Vikramaratne to swim into the middle of the goal there.
2 basic errors there, Shanaka. Royal needed to swim the ball up. He needed a support player just to draw the goalie, fake him, and then give the pass to the other guy to put the ball in. St. Thomas's making the same mistake. They had, I think, the left bar, the left wing free there. And 1 good pass to him would have been curtains.
Yes, that would have been a desperately needed goal. Kankanige doing most of the talking here in the Royal College huddle. And Zafar Zainuddin and his mates would be much happier from this position than they were at the end of the first quarter or at half time. She's got 2.5 minutes left in this game.
So this really is the essence of Royal College 100, Shanaka. We've got exciting games, really good teams coming up, good coaching staff, and the game to be played in the right spirit that makes a world of difference, and it gives and leaves you with happy memories in futures to come as well.
Absolutely, Reza, and I've been covering these games for the last few years, and despite Royal ending up on the losing side, we've talked about all those games. We've talked about how close they've been, and we talked about them for the right reasons, and I think that's really important as well. It doesn't matter what the result is. It's just how much these 2 teams are and these 2 schools are contributing towards the betterment of Sri Lanka water polo. Isuvarna De Silva was a little bit absent, so I think St. Thomas's have done a good defensive job on him, haven't they, Reza? They've identified him as the threat and they've marked him pretty soundly. Here it is being swum up by Dinal Dias now, one of the better swimmers in the Thomian team. Now they need to make good decisions here. Dias can swim it up himself, but opts instead to go to the wing. And Royal have dropped back well in defence. And they're pressing, so Ebenezer will probably take a shot from here. It's a good one, but it's in the side netting. He needed to take that shot.
I think Royal need to make a slight change there, Shanaka. They need to pick up the 2 Ebenezer brothers and Manula. They can't give them any room. They are the guys who are generating most of the goals for St. Thomas's.
So this is Royal now with their first real attacking opportunity. And a good foul that time committed by St. Thomas's. Making sure the ball goes further away. And Isuvarna De Silva now, he'll realize that he hasn't been able to repeat his first leg heroics. Hopefully he doesn't allow the pressure to get to him, but that's a heroic shot, all right. A brilliant goal from Isuvarna De Silva. And you can't afford to leave him unmarked for a moment. That's why.
No, brilliant goal from long distance, Shanaka. Something that Royal definitely needed to bring the scoreline back in their favour. But Royal really need a little more distribution. They look a little static in the D there. They seem to be tiring out as well. And that's where you'll have to use the rest of the bench to keep the momentum and keep the ball swum up and down in the spool.
They're using a double prop offence there, Royal, and that just confused St. Thomas's for a moment. Shevan Ebenezer will know that he can't afford to throw this ball away. Sanaka Molligoda, the captain. Ebenezer now on the perimeter. Well marked at the far post are Thomian attackers, and that's not a good pass at all. Anam Sauja was calling for it, but didn't get to him in a accurate fashion. And here's Dinal Dias, needs to pick up his man now. Does so. And that's a good foul again committed with no angle for the attacker. Now the shot is on. Good pass into the centre forward, Savinda Disanayaka.
Exclusion coming, I think, Shanaka.
Yes, and a deserved exclusion as well. Haven't had many exclusions in this game so far. So Royal will play with an extra man for 20 seconds. And that's
Beautiful
a
pass.
good pass, excellent pass from the Royalists, but unfortunately the frame of the goal saving them. And that's the end of the third quarter. It's 7-5. So if it stays like this, St. Thomas's will retain the trophy. But if they get one back, if either of the teams get one back, then that's going to be a deciding factor. So I don't know whether we've had in the history of this encounter, Reza, I don't know whether we've had two legs or two encounters back to back that have been drawn.
Nope, we've never had an encounter in that manner. Hopefully for the Royalists it doesn't go that way, but it's something that will keep us talking about this sport and this beautiful game forever and ever.
For sure, but having had the unfortunate circumstance of being on the receiving end of a draw, Manula Vikramaratne's last minute Hail Mary, as it were, beautifully taken fast break shot that really devastated the Royalists last year. What will it be this year? It's even Stevens on aggregate now. St. Thomas's lost by 2 goals in the first leg. They're leading by 2 goals with a few minutes to go now. And Manula Vikramaratne, he's the man there in the number 9 cap. Will he be the hero again, or will it be Suvarna De Silva? Will it be Savinda Disanayaka, who's had a stunning game so far? A stunning leg. Scored some brilliant goals. It's been much more low scoring because both teams are intent on their defense. You can see Royal winning the first quarter and St. Thomas's winning the other 2. But just by a whisker. So this is the quarter that it comes down to. Everything that's been said and done before, all the letters that have been written up and down have absolutely no value now, because it all comes to this next 8 minutes. Bilal Hassan with a frown on his face. Not often you see that. And now it's all about desire. Now it's all about who wants this more.
Sanaka Molligoda there having the last words in the huddle. They really want this Hayman, and so will Bilal Hassan and this Royal College team. And
So
exciting quarter awaits us, Sanaka. I'm at the edge of my seat.
well, I'm at the edge of mine as well, Reza. And Bilal certainly is on the edge of his also. Here's David, who, if he can score a crucial goal, will send his name down into the history books. So it's 7-5 at the start of the 4th and final quarter. The 8th quarter over the course of this 27th Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy encounter. Absolutely nothing in it. Royal and St. Thomas's even on aggregate. Hadun Patirana gives some last few words of advice to his players. Tries to G them up. St. Thomas's 8 minutes away from clinching their 6th consecutive Hayman. Royal 8 minutes away from winning their first Hayman in 5 years. That's what it's all come down to. And Royal win their 2nd swim ball of the game. And Akhtar Jafar will take this ball up with Ebenezer coming back into play and receiving a wayward pass as soon as he comes back into the pool. Dilith Kumarasinghe will be in absolutely no hurry here, but St. Thomas's have to be careful not to be too defensive in this quarter as well. So that's a good pass to Dinal Dias, who found himself free. He will need to take a shot here. David looking for his first goal, but he's well defended there. So the Royal defence had really collapsed well on Randeep David.
Good pass out there. That looks like an exclusion, Shanaka.
Yes, and a deserved exclusion there as well. So Royal now will have to start again from behind here, as Akindu Hatin Patirana will take this one up. St. Thomas's with an extra attacker to contend with, but a good save that time from Dilith Kumarasinghe. And I said he had big boots to fill, or big trunks to fill, with Kosala Vijayawardana's absence, but in this third quarter and the fourth quarter he has really made a huge difference. And again the pressure getting to this young Royal team. Perhaps they throw the ball away in areas where they have been so competent previously, and now St. Thomas's have a break on. Here's Ebenezer. Jaffa comes across, and it looks like an exclusion. Yes, Jaffa is the man excluded, so a good pass back to Ebenezer, who will take this beautifully. Swims the ball across the face of the goalkeeper and snaps it back, and that's an expertly taken goal by an experienced player.
Beautifully done, Shanaka, beautifully done. They know exactly how to move in front of goal. This is the difference in the tours that they've been doing abroad. They've got a lot of coaching input from other coaches as well from abroad, and it really shows. That's the tactical advantage in the coaching structure that St. Thomas's have, which is on display for you.
A good instinctive play there from Ebenezer, and good work from the wing player also to put the ball back to Ebenezer, because it's his man that got excluded, and to put the ball back to him, that was good thinking from St. Thomas's. Just a little bit more maturity than this young Royal team. You saw on the team sheet that Royal are largely 16 and 17 years old. And that ball dribbles towards the post, but it's not forceful enough. And now the 3-goal cushion that St. Thomas's need to maintain to win this Hayman outright. And boy, will they be so desperate to win this one outright.
So really, if Royal are looking to win this, they need to bring in their juniors into the game here, Shanaka. They can't expect the seniors to keep carrying them forward. That's what Manula did last year for St. Thomas's.
Careless stuff from Dinal Dias. They're really careless. Gave the ball away. And these are the errors that could result in game-changing goals, as we have Lokoge, who swims up threateningly towards the goal. Looks for the more accomplished shooters though. Here's Hadun Patirana. They're reverting back to form. Hadun Patirana will look for a shot here, and it's a good one, but just up to the mark is Kumarasinghe. Gets his fingertips to it. It's a sinking feeling, isn't it? Literally and metaphorically, Reza, when that ball goes over your fingertips and it's lobbed into the back of the goal.
Yeah, not a good feeling for the goalkeeper to see the ball just disappearing over your head. But Akindu is known for that lob off the right wing. He's St. Thomas's will know that. He's done that in the under-15 games he's played before last year and the year before. So
he can either fake the goalie there and then put it to the bar to get a better clear shot off him if he doesn't have one. But Royal really need to distribute the ball a lot more.
Use their bars, use Samod, use Isivaruna.
So the referee is discussing brutality, I think, here. You saw a little bit of a punch motion that the referee has. Zafar Zainuddin looking a little concerned. So there might be a twist in the tail quite here. Both referees conferring, having the need to confer. So well. So we have one player going out, do we? Yes, we do, and I'm not sure exactly what the call was. I'm sorry I can't bring you more detail as to what that call was, but we'll try and find out. Nice ball to Ebenezer. Ebenezer mauled by Omira Lokuge, who does well in the end to win that ball. Here's Prasad Disanayaka. Started the game so well, he'll really want to make sure that he ends it well also. Here's a
Looking for the shot as the shot clock runs down, Shanaka.
and again shot straight at Dilip Kumarasinghe. So Royal's shooting has let them down. Apart from a brilliant shot by Isuvarna De Silva from long range, they haven't been on target or haven't troubled Dilip Kumarasinghe enough. A quick timeout taken for St. Thomas's just to settle things down and make sure they try and get that 4-goal cushion. That will be really something that will relax them. But at the moment, the Hayman is very much in the balance.
Just go one up. That'll be 4 goals to the difference, which may be difficult to come back from. So Zafar will have a definite plan for this move, for this quarter. Let's see what St. Thomas's give us.
Kankanige looks like he's instructing his players to somehow find Isuvarna De Silva in space. And why not? Because he was their most dangerous player last week. And he scored a peach of a goal a little while earlier as well. Dilip Kumarasinghe looks a worried man, and why not? Can understand the pressure that's on the shoulders of the goalkeeper. He's got to take the centre pass and hurry back to his goal. Royal crowd there. ROYAL in hope than confidence at the moment. You can see the tone of it has changed. Shamod Edirisinghe who open scoring for Royal. He will be happy if he can close scoring for Royal as well. Here's the pass they're looking for. Nicely goes back. Good ball movement from St. Thomas's. Here's David. Needs to take the shot, but the pass to him is not a good one. That pass needs to be quicker, and David's reaction needs to be quicker as well. But superb from the captain there, Sanaka Molligoda, turning that ball over, doing really well.
Beautiful steal, Shanaka. We saw the under-15 team doing that as well. So it's clear to say that the 15 under St. Thomas's team is definitely shining in the 19 programs.
Yes, they're doing well. That's a very difficult steal to execute. You have to know exactly what you're doing and time it perfectly. And here's Ebenezer. He's left his man behind, but doesn't get fouled, says the referee. So now there will be a scramble. No immediate fouling in your own half of the pool as Omira Lokuge swims this up. St. Thomas's have been happy for Lokuge to have the ball. They've just tried to make sure that Isuvarna De Silva doesn't get it, and this is where he's dangerous. Look for the shot. It's come, but Kumarasinghe is up to the mark again. When it's counted, Dilip Kumarasinghe has come to the party despite the visibility problems. The rain has let up. And now St. Thomas's will have to maintain their discipline. And that's a nicely lobbed shot. Beautifully lobbed shot to bring it back. 15 all on aggregate. Nicely taken shot there by Jaffa, I think it was. Yes, it was Jaffa in the number 6 cap. Screamed for the ball, got it, and now has put Royal in a position to snatch this Hayman in the last 2 minutes. 15 all on aggregate. You can see it there on your screens. You're watching live pictures on ThePapare.com of this 27th annual Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy encounter. Dulanjana Fernando being aggressive on Anam Sauja, and that's not a great pass at all.
Turnover the ball there for Royal College. They need to make this attack count. They've got wingers on the right hand side of the pool there. Savinda needs to get himself into a proper position to ask for that ball.
Shamod Edirisinghe swims it up for Royal. St. Thomas is opting to make the foul there, and Ebenezer coming across and doing so. And here's Edirisinghe looking for the long crossfield ball. It's a little bit away from his winger, and it's a good foul that time by the winger. as well, the wing defense. Here's Lokuge. Lokuge with a brilliant shot. Puts Royal into the lead. Beautifully taken snapshot from Omira Lokuge. And just as I was saying that St. Thomas's have been happy for him to have the ball, he makes them pay. 16-15 with a minute to go. And have Royal snatch this one at the death. Do St. Thomas's have another goal in them? And between the outstretched hands of the two defenders, Omira Lokuge with the shot of the game. The youngster proving his worth. He's had a lot of the ball in this half. And it's no goal, says the referee. It wasn't immediate. Yes, that's what they're saying. So we might have to change the scoreboard. So Lokuge, fortunately, looks like it didn't take an immediate shot. The ball was too far away. And that ball straight into the hands of the Royal defence. Shamodedri Singh now. There's 1 minute left. That's where the bell goes off. And it's quickly called a timeout by Bilal Hassan. And this is Hail Mary time, isn't it, Reza?
Definitely, Shanaka. I'm just catching up with the game here. Good timeout taken by Royal. Last year we used the timeout a little early in the quarter, and therefore we couldn't give the guys a bit of a break. But hopefully this timeout will settle their nerves. It'll give Purna and Bilal time to reassess what the team needs to do. They just need to go and practice, perform what they practice here, Shanaka. St. Thomas's will be looking at counter-attacking this play. They're good at that. They'll read the clock. On the last 5 seconds, their bar or their wingers will take off. So that'll be something to look out for on the screens.
Sanaka Mulligoda giving some instructions. Kankani giving his last few instructions as well. They know that this is the last roll of the dice. Referee having a word to Bilal. Once again, Bilal completely impassioned. You don't need to be a lip reading expert to know that he was a little upset there. Not for the first time in the fourth quarter have we seen Bilal walking off there, and that's interesting one. It looks like Royal's timeout.
I think this is about the goal that's disallowed, Shanaka. Omira Lokuge's long range.
Have they just realized that, Reza? Because it looked like they realized that a little while earlier on. Not sure what this is about now. So I think Bilal has just realized that it's no goal and that it's even on aggregate, 50 in all. And fortunately it doesn't go much further than that. Former Royal captain Nethrunania Kara and my counterpart Mohammad Ismi calming Bilal down, explaining the situation there. So I think the players also have just realized. 40 seconds left. Akhtar Jafar looks a beaten man. Anam Sauja. Purna Kankanige with a wry smile. Knows that Royal have not got the rub of the green on that. But now they have an opportunity to snatch it at the death. 40 seconds left. 30 seconds on the shot clock here. And Royal swim 2 props in. Anam Sauja. The experienced man will need to make sure he doesn't let his marker get away from him. Dilip Kumarasinghe in goal. This will be the longest 30 seconds of his life. Royal now. St. Thomas's choosing to foul. It looks like there might be an exclusion. Yes, there is. That's something that the Thomians didn't need to give away. Again, the pressure at the top. That's important from St. Thomas's, pressing the ball and then collapsing quickly. Here's the ball to the danger man, Idrisingha. Lovely fake. And here's the pass. Oh, that's the goal that wins the Hayman. What a wonderful shot. Brilliantly taken by the youngster, Akidu Hanunpatirana. 16-15 on aggregate. And Royal couldn't have asked for anything more at this particular time. Good ball movement. He had no options here, Hanunpatirana. And lobbed the ball perfectly into the corner of the goal of Dilip Kumarasinghe, who watches the ball float over his head forlornly.
We spoke about his ability to lob the ball. Shanaka, St. Thomas's did not pick him up and they pay the price. But Royal find themselves in the same situation we found ourselves in last year.
Have the Thomians got a last minute goal in them?
Here we go, there's an extra man swimming. He needs to switch up here and not draw an exclusion.
Beautiful defense from Royal, and that's the game. What a brilliant performance from this Royal team. Under pressure for most of the game. An unnecessary little bit of celebration there from the Royal player in the pool. But Bilal Hassan will be a relieved man. He's won the game. And despite all the controversy, it's great to see the two coaches hugging and congratulating each other. And the Royal crowd have gone absolutely wild. Most of them ending up in the pool with their players as well. And what celebrations, Reza, and what a deserved win. Akidu Hanunpatirana did what Manula Vikramaratne did last year with the last gasp winner. And St. Thomas's having a chance to win it at the end, just completely throwing that ball away. And Royal ending up deserved winners after 6 years.
Definitely, Shanaka. We talked about the juniors having to take up the slack in this last quarter. Akindu Hanunpatirana, the captain of the 2016 team, I believe, played a beautiful lob shot to put Royal in the lead and take the Hayman this year.
Akhtar Jafar.
So this is really what the boys have been training for in the last 3 years, Shanaka. Bringing back that first win. You can see how hard fought it has been. 16-15 on aggregate. Nothing much between the teams, but really who wants it more and who makes the fewer mistakes on the day. Royal needed their 13. Their 13 have delivered, and hopefully it is a sign of things to come. But take nothing away from St. Thomas's. They are a class outfit. They've got a very good coaching staff and a very good coaching structure, which I feel Royal still needs to emulate and go one up there. They have a lot more experience in having won matches, and hopefully that is something that Royal can take from the last 5 years as well. Snatching those difficult moments in the game that could give your school that one goal advantage.
What drama here at the Sugatadasa Stadium pool amid the falling rain. We have the cries of ROYAL, not in hope, not in anticipation, not in confidence, but now in victory. Resounding out over the night here as Royal wrest back the trophy after a 5-year wait. A 2-goal lead they took into the encounter, 9-7. And despite St. Thomas's winning the second leg 8-7, it was not enough. And Royal win 16-15 on aggregate. St. Thomas's players absolutely forlorn. Ebenezer will know that St. Thomas's had an opportunity in that final moment to put the game away with Royal's defence flailing. But it was not to be. And this is just a fantastic moment for these young lads, some of whom who have won their first Hayman. Some of those who've never seen a Hayman won by Royal since they started playing water polo. So you can imagine what this means to them. Well, they've got good balance, these boys, on their feet, even though they don't use them in the pool. And these are amazing scenes. And for this young Royal team, this is going to be a real confidence booster, isn't it, Reza?
Definitely, Shanaka. It'll teach them that hard work pays off. You need to keep your discipline in the game, in the year, to come out with a performance like this. I think we've got only about 4 or 5 18 and 19-year-olds in the team, so definitely most of them will feature next year. But hopefully we've built up a squad. The additional games that we've been talking about, we brought in the Nalanda game this year with the Royal College team, which helps our juniors they prepare for the Hayman, whilst St. Thomas's tour Malaysia, I believe. And these are little things that need to be added into the boys' calendar, into the school calendar, so that you can improve this game as well. And that is one of the reasons why you have such high-scoring encounters, because of the exposure that the people have, the players have, and also having the international refs. They allow the game to flow. They allow the game to be played for the fitter team, for the more advantageous team, and therefore you have to compete with both teams in the pool according to the rules.
Yes, it's a good evolution as well for Sri Lankan water polo, because it means that these players are now competitive on an international stage as well, at least on an Asian stage. At a junior level, they really are very competitive, and you can see that the shot clock coming in has really made the game more entertaining, and a lot of drama as well, and drama for the right reasons, of course. Few issues about the disallowed goal there, but nothing really spilling over. And here are the highlights of the game. This is where Royal got off to a flying start once again. St. Thomas has won the swim ball, but that's all they won in this quarter. With I think that was Moligoda himself who won that ball, or Sauja. And here's the goal coming. Savinda Disanayaka swimming that one in and smashing it into the near post. And that really should have been picked up earlier by the defender. Here's St. Thomas's first goal. Disanayaka will look at that one and think he should have done better. Suvarna De Silva smashes that in from long range. So his 2 long range shots. The second one was a better goal, but that was a crucial one as well. And that's a rabbit shot that the captain Sanaka Moligoda scored. And here's the goal that really changed things around. Beautifully taken that time by Dulanjan Fernando. That was a goal that could have been avoided, and the penalty from Shannon Ebenezer. And Manula Vikramaratne's beautifully taken shot there again. Just finding half an inch of daylight, that was enough for him. His second goal as well. Almost a carbon copy of the first, and Ebenezer letting fly. And here's a beautifully taken shot by Shannon Ebenezer. He had 3 in the game, but it wasn't enough. This is the goal that really changed things for Royal. A nicely lobbed shot. Defender Ebenezer there not picking up his man Chevan. And that was a brilliant goal from Omira Lokuge. Goal was disallowed in the end, but it really sent some shockwaves down the Thomians' spines, and that was the goal that won the game. And just there before, we didn't see the Thomian attacker throw it away, but that was really unfortunate that they couldn't convert or at least get a shot off on goal. At that point, we would have had another draw, and St. Thomas is retaining again, but Royal are desperately happy that that didn't happen. And as the rains come down, so do the celebratory Gatorades or whatever they may be drinking for Royal College coming out of that cooler box there. It really must be such a relief. We'll be back with the presentation after the break. brilliantly moving into the corner there. Outstanding individual.
This is brilliant by Danushka Ranjan. Scoring his 7th.
Rana time with one hand and looks like he's through.
The outside fence off one. Goes off another. Just off one. Goes off.
ක්‍රීඩා පුවත් සිංහලෙන්
Well, what a game it's been here at the Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy encounter. That's 27th time that these two schools have played for this trophy. And Royal fans watching around the world will be happy to know for the 6th year that Royal have not conceded this trophy to St. Thomas's, and they've won it back. They drew last year's encounter and won this one by the wafer-thin margin of one last-minute goal from Akidu Hadun Patirana, and Royal are Hayman champions for 2018. And what a wonderful game it's been, and it's time for us now to join us, our presentation party down at the bottom.
Ladies and gentlemen, the runners-up of under 15 Royal Colombian water polo match. Royal College.
Tilanka Tushan, Mihin Vanigasekara, Lishita Munasingha, Asmat Shahi, Minush Mewan, Vihanga Kavin, Temira Dahanayaka, Anuga Handun Patirana, Induwara Gunavardhana, Yamit Jaikodi, Yasandu De Silva, Nimsara Tenakon, and Captain Uminu Katugampola. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to felicitate the champions of the Royal Thomian Under 15 water polo match, let me invite the Principal of Royal College, Mr. B.A. Abhiratna. And the champions, St. Thomas College. The Under 15 team of St. Thomas College, Sivali Gurusingha, Sinet Abewardana, Yumal Bollegala, Akil Zuhair, Aiden Tisera, Migara Gurusingha, Santosh Kalan Surya, Talib Mansoor, Sharia Kurukulu Surya, Janidu Abegunavardana, Nitish Pereira, Kenash Jairaj, and Captain Dirian Dias. Ladies and gentlemen, to accept the Mahinda Lianagate Challenge Trophy. Check one. The trophy for the Under 15 Royal Thomian water polo match. Can I have the captain of the St. Thomas College Under 15 team, Dirian Dias? A wonderful encounter, a wonderful match. I believe the highest goal scored in any Under 15 Royal Thomian water polo match by a team. For felicitating the champions of the Under 15 Royal Thomian water polo match. And now to take us through the rest of the awards and to award the Under 19 teams, let me cordially invite our chief guest, the captain of the St. Thomas College 1997 water polo team, Mr. A.S. Pereira. And ladies and gentlemen, the runners-up after a close game, St. Thomas College. Randev Jayasinghe, Sai Sivendra, Dinal Dias, Gehan Vijayasinghe, Manula Vikramaratna, Randev David, Shivan Ebenezer, Komin Karunasekara, Suvishka Hennayaka, Vice Captain Shannon Ebenezer, and Captain Sanaka Moldigoda. Ladies and gentlemen, now for the champions of the 27th Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy. After a total aggregate of 15 goals to 16, with a 1 goal difference, the champions, Royal College. Nidila Ilupitia, Nishan Kotyarachi, Akindu Hadun Patirana, Isivaruna De Silva, Akhtar Jafar, Savinda Disanayaka, Dulvin Dahanayaka, Vidinu Lokuge, Akil Fairoz, Bhanuka Veerasinghe, Chavo Dedri Singha, Vice Captain Prasad Disanayaka, and Captain Dulanjan Fernando. Ladies and gentlemen, before we move on to felicitate the most valuable player as well as the official Hayman Trophy, we need to felicitate the coaches and the referees for a great show that they put throughout the 2 legs and throughout, especially the coaches throughout the entire calendar. Let us first felicitate the referees of the 27th Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy. The referees will also be felicitated by our chief guest, Mr. A.S. Pereira. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up to our referees for tonight, Mr. Wolof and Mr. Kanit. Mr. Polo and Mr. Kanit will be the referees, who are the referees of the 27th Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy. And now the head coaches of both the sides. Firstly, the head coach of St. Thomas College, Mr. Zafar Zainuddin. Mr. Bilal Hassan. We move on to award the most valuable player. The most valuable player will be walking away with the Royal College Group of 92 trophy, and to present before the most valuable player, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be also, of course, felicitating the under 15 coaches of both the sides for equally supporting the head coaches and making a lovely game at the 27th Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy this week and last week. Firstly, to felicitate the under-15 coach of Royal College, Mr. Reza Ghani. Coach of the under-15 Royal College side. And now for the head coach or the coach of the under-15 St. Thomas College water polo side, Mr. Dhanushka Seram. Mr. Dhanushka Seram, the under-15 Chromium coach. Thank you, Mr. S. Pereira. We'll have Mr. S. Pereira once again to give away the final trophy, but before that we'll be felicitating the most valuable player. The most valuable player will be walking away with the Royal College Group of 92 trophy, and this will be presented by the President of the Royal College Group of 92, Mr. Ashan Nisanka. And after 2 legs of thrilling water polo matches, the most valuable player at the 27th Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy, cap number 5 of Royal College, Isivaru Reddy Silva. Gentlemen, it was a wonderful 2-week water polo matches. Let me once again invite our chief guest, Mr. A.S. Pereira, to award the Royal College water polo team with the prestigious and coveted Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy. Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 years, presenting to you the champions of the 27th Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy, Royal College!
Wonderful scenes coming to you from the Sugadasa swimming pool complex. In 2012, it was Shan Lakshita's Royal College water polo team who came back in the second leg to win the R.L. Hayman Trophy. Now it's Dulan and Fernando's water polo side that will go down in the books of history as the team that won back the prestigious Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy. So that's a historic moment for the Royalists. Dulan and Fernando and the team will be remembered. A lot of hard work by both teams, not taking away anything away from the Thomians. They fought hard, they fought back, they came back strong, won the second encounter, but that 2-goal difference made it for the Royalists. So the blue and gold will triumph today. We can see the faces on the happy faces. They look overjoyed. The Hayman Trophy comes to Reed Avenue after 5 long years. So that concludes the ThePapare's proceedings from the second leg of the Dr. R.L. Hayman Trophy. On behalf of Shana Kamra singer Reza Ghani, this is Inshaf Kapoor signing off with the ThePapare technical and production teams. Have a pleasant evening.